Alright, so this is a duel I had against Beemann. It was on Toxicity, as you can plainly see. And the main thing that's notable about this duel is him for one. I've never actually won against him before this point. With that being said, it was a really close duel. There were definitely, misplays on both our parts, and I think that if my misplays were capitalized on a bit more, it could have gone much, much worse for me. With that all out of the way, let's get started.
Five, four, three, two, one.
So
Begin.
immediately I start at the 50 armor, and I make a beeline to Mega Health since I know he's at the Mega Armor. I grab it, and I don't fight him right here because I don't have a weapon, but now turning back I engage him. Unfortunately, I take a rail, so I go back to the 50 armor and he just shows up right in front of me. I end up landing a decent rocket onto him and just sort of backpedal right here. I take a bad rocket there, and it's not so good, but I get a 50 armor and stabilize a bit. So I'll prepare to re-engage it against him at the Mega Armor, and I notice him on the ledge there. He drops down, and I start firing rockets, and then two curved rockets later, that's the first blood. Now, I think that one of the big issues that he did was that I think he dropped down to the Mega Armor pit a bit early. It was really easy for me to spam him out with Splash there. So, I think the proper play might have been just get the Mega Armor go and, engage from a bit less of a odd position. Anyways. So I go back up and I fight against Beemann. Now, one of the things, if you notice as I was going in there, and this is one of the big misplays that I had going into this fight, is that I had my blaster out. Once I blasted up to the 50 health back there, I should have switched back to rockets so I'd have him. That way, when he showed up at the rocket spawn there, I could have just hit him with a rocket, got the first shot off, and the fight could have completely changed from there. But instead, I walk into it with a blaster, end up switching to rockets, miss my first shot, and I end up taking two rockets like that, and I lose control and have to cede the Mega Health. So I end up taking another rocket there as I get the 50 armor, and I'm just trying to stabilize my situation by this point. I try fighting around the Mega Armor, but that's not good, and even though I land two hits on him, I'm doing very poorly. And he'll land a rocket on me right there, and I die. So yeah, that first mistake that I made in that initial engagement was very poor. But another thing that I screwed up with was that I think I was very predictable with how I was approaching the pickups afterwards, because it felt like he could just, especially around the Mega Armor, right? So I was going in through that one little hallway there, and that's pretty easy to spam out. It's not quite as open, and he also had elevation advantage, so he could have just shot rockets down there, and I wouldn't really be in a good position to do much about it. So if I approached it from, say, the 50 health, it could have gone differently, but anyways. I go back up, and what's really questionable about this decision is that I try to go for the Mega Armor again, despite how it didn't work out the last time. Anyways, taking a rocket to the face at least dissuaded me enough, and I was able to get a direct off on him. So I'd say that's a pretty okay trade. I make a beeline to the Mega Health right here, and for various reasons, Beemann is slower. By all accounts, he took the better route. He should have been faster, but I end up taking it, and I profit off of it. So I just sort of go around, I eat a rail, which is bad, but at least he doesn't get the Mega Health. I get this 25, and once again, that's another thing where it's slow, so I move up and I get the 50 armor now, but that was really iffy. All this stuff is really iffy because if I got if I went to the 50 armor first, I could have got to it before Beemann did, and I wouldn't have had to engage him right on top of it. As it stands, I was lucky that I even got the 50 armor in the first place, and that was really lucky because if you could see, if I didn't get that armor there, I would have been fucking dead right now. Anyways, I narrowly, and I can't remember by this point since the duel took place about a week ago. I guess I just unwittingly evaded him since I know, looking at it in retrospect, it's very blatantly obvious where he was, and I just sort of moved out of the way, but I'm not sure if I realized that at the time. Anyways, I back off, only to re-engage him around Mega Armor Pit and narrowly escape with my life again. I'm being really, really aggressive for how out of control I am, and it's a really, really questionable decision, but I somehow managed to get away with it. Anyway, I failed to contest Mega Health, but that's okay. Oh, jeez. That rail. So he chases after me here, and this is where, in the chaos of it, I end up getting like 2 directs off on him, which is a big deal. I get the 50, I eat a rail for it, and that's bad, so I'm looking really poor on health, so I backpedal, land a direct, get the 50, head over to Mega Armor, snatch that, and this is when the tables have turned, and I think, we're... Technically, I guess I'm at such low health that we're both in a bad situation, so I guess, like, his decision to engage isn't the worst, but it doesn't work out for him because I get the kill. And then he spawns right in front of me and I die. So I don't know what I could have done about that respawn, but I think like the safer option there might have been for Beemann to disengage. He took the riskier option and didn't really pay off, although I guess it wasn't too bad considering the situation reset to a neutral position. So anyways, I grab a Gar, I grab Rail. That's good. That's all good. That's very well and good. You know, I sort of meet Beemann, but we don't really do much, and I grab the Mega Health, and I grab the 50. You know, I'm sitting, like, in a pretty good situation, and now I'm going to get rockets? Yeah, I get rockets, so everything is good. Everything is good going into it. And it stops being good. So I blast her up, and what I'm about to pay for it in a quarter of a second, because he's just going to turn over and rail me, because I'm an easy target since I blaster jumped up. That's a really predictable trajectory. Bam. I take a lot of damage there. So what do I do next after not doing anything to him? I move straight to the Mega Armor. That's bad. I can just be spammed out there. He's looking at me. I'm basically dead. And wham. It is a miracle that I somehow managed to be still alive at this point. Like, that's 2 health. I should have fucking died. I'm gonna die anyway. But I at least land those things, which is good. And I still managed to somehow survive for a bit longer. So those were all like lots of missed shots and poor opportunities. Yeah, you could get on me for like, oh, you should have hit that rocket, you should have hit that rail. That's whatever. But the decisions that were made up to that point were very subpar, and that's where the real weakness was. So anyways, I respawn, I grab rockets, and I just sort of go for him at the Mega Armor. And this is a really questionable decision. But I land some damage onto him. If that rail landed, I would have died. I go in the 50. This seems to be a recurring pattern at this point. Fight Beemann at the Mega Armor, fight Beemann at the 50. Now this is really odd. He doesn't land any of his shit on me. So I just end up killing him like that. And that's pretty convenient for me, because now I have control again. So I'll go up against him at the Mega Armor, and I'll just blow him up, because he's a fresh spawn. And that's all well and good. So I'll get up, and he teleports right in front of me. So I'll blow him up again. I get a bit more greedy. I don't successfully blow him up, and I get really low, but I grab Mega Health, so it's alright, and I'll land a bit more damage. And I get the other Mega too, so everything is just sort of sitting okay for me. And I chase him down and kill him again. So I get the 50, and I'm just going around. Now, a thing to note is that I got the Mega Health before I got the Mega Armor. And I did not pick up on that at the time. Like, I neglected that. So I eat, like, a charge to Gar, I think that was, to the face, which is bad. And Beemann goes, grabs stack. So I'm sitting in here, and this is where the issue is. Like, I guess I might have mistimed it a bit. I probably could have gotten Mega Health before then, and if I got Mega Health before I went to the Mega Armor room, then I could have, like, had some stack, and I don't think I would have died, or if I did, I wouldn't have. It would have been a bit closer. And if I had hit the rail, you know, I probably would have at least traded. But that, once again, it's like, yeah, you can work on mechanics at any time, but you go over duels to review decision-making more than mechanics. You can't, like, just saying aim better won't help anything. Anyways, it's getting to the 5-minute mark right now, and I'm going to cut this video off here. It's sort of dragging on time-wise, and I've been pausing a lot. Not to mention a lot of commentary and thoughts for the second 5 minutes aren't really developed because I only started making this when I was really tired, and I can just tell that I'm not making as good commentary as I go on. Anyway, the point is I'd rather have like 2 decent half-length videos than okay and turns to shit, so I'm going to cut it off right here. It also probably helps with YouTube's video limit. Anyways, that's that.